Oh, hello. Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations in Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight what I'd like to do is I want to do a bird. And I will show you how to do that from start to finish. And I thought it'd be a very interesting project to do tonight. I'll show you how to make the base, the beak, the wings. There's very simple techniques to make this, but I'll show you the types of clay that you can use. There is an oil-based clay, such as this, which can be bought in any art store. It never hardens, and you can use it multiple times. I've mentioned in the past that I used this a lot when I was little, and it's actually a great clay to use. Another type of clay that you can use is an air-hardening clay, such as this, which hardens like in a couple of hours or overnight, and you can buy this in any art store also. And it's a very good clay if you want to paint it, but you can't reuse it. That's the only difference. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which can be baked in the oven at 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes. And you can sand it, drill it, you can make a tremendous amount of detail with it. The size clay balls that we'll be using tonight, I'll show you. There's this size ball of clay right here, and this will be used for the base. The next big ball of clay that we're going to use is this one right here, which will be used to make the body of the bird. And then we're going to have two smaller balls of clay, such as this, and we'll be using these for the wings. And then for the beak, we'll use this size ball of clay right here. So the first step in the process that we want to take tonight is we want to make the base, and I'll show you with the bird what we'd like to make. It's this piece right here. We're going to make the base right here for the bird to go on. And we're going to flatten it out just like that. And I'll proceed to show you how to do that. So we'll take this ball of clay here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to try to make it into the shape of almost like a rock. So what I'm going to do is push this down on the table like this. Just like that. And flatten it out. See how it's nice and flat now? And just work it like that. This is the shape that we want to use. That right there. And that's what it'll look like from the top, the side. So what we'll proceed to do is we want to make this base, but I want to make it almost look like the texture of a rock or some kind of greenery. So we're going to take tin foil, which can be bought in the supermarket or any store that sells these types of products. Crinkle up the tin foil, and then what we're going to do is we're going to tamp the base like this, just like this. It creates a very nice texture when you do this. Just do that. So we're going around like that. Just kind of tap it like that. And go all around with the tin foil. And I like this because it's a very nice texture. As I've shown you in the past, this can be used for many things. Creating rocks, creating water. It's a very simple thing to use. And I just wanted to show you. This is what the base will look like right now. We're going to proceed to make the shape of the bird. So the bird itself, what we'd like to do is I want to show you how to make the shape of the bird like this. So we're going to make the head. It's going to be without the wings at this point, and then I'll show you how to make the tail. So this is the basic shape that we're shooting for. I'm going to take this, and I'll show you. We're just going to, you take and work it in your hands. Squeeze it a little bit like this, and we're going to lengthen it out. Just kind of work it in your fingers like this. Just going to keep working it. And you kind of pull. See, I'm kind of pulling the clay here and making it longer. And we want to do that. And just kind of keep pulling. And now what you want to do too is see how I'm making the shape of the head right here? We just kind of pull that up a little bit and just go around like that. See, I'm just kind of going round and round, and And we want to make that basic shape of the head and smooth it out. So we just keep working it, just like that. And just, we'll keep working it. And then what we want to do is I'll show you, we're going to try to make the tail. So we're going to take, see I'm flattening it out with my fingers? Just like that. And see I'm squaring it off, just like that. Just work it, just kind of keep pulling on it, flatten it out, just like that. And get that nice fan-like shape. And I'll squeeze it a little bit like that. So this is the shape that you're shooting for, right here, or trying to make. See that? And then you can flip it over, and it'll look the same on the other side. And now we're getting that basic shape of the bird. See that? That's what it will look like from the top. That's what it will look like from the side. Don't worry if the proportions are a little off, because sometimes they are. And it's just, I want you to kind of get used to using the clay. And I would take and smooth this out with your fingers too, this area here. Just kind of smooth that out, just like that. You go around the bird like that with your thumb. Just kind of smooth it out a little bit. That way it's a little smoother. Just go all the way around and go around the entire bird in this manner. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to attach this to the base. So what we're going to do now is take this shape, and we're going to pick these two up, and what you can do is just kind of squeeze them together like that. See how we do that? Just kind of squeeze it together. Another thing that we're going to use is, I'll show you another tool. We want to use a toothpick tonight, which can be bought, like in the supermarket. I like this one because it's got the sharp point at both ends. So what we're going to proceed to do is we want to make the tail. And I will show you what we want to do with the tail. See the tail here on this bird here? See how I got the lines? We're going to proceed to make those lines in the bird's tail. I'll try to, it's probably not showing up as well. Let me get the other bird, and I think it might be a little easier to see on that one. I think, yeah, you can see the lines. That's what we want to do. And we're going to do that to both sides, just like that. And I'll proceed to show you how to do that. Take the toothpick here and just kind of go down like this, take the point, and just kind of pull it along like this. Just like that. Just take the toothpick, just kind of pull it along. And I'm just going to make sure these are all roughly the same length. And then we'll proceed to do that to the other side. We'll take and just kind of pull that along like that. Do that. Just like that. And just pull it down the length of the tail like that. And that creates, looks like the feathers now. Now what we're going to proceed to do next is I want to make the wings. So I'll show you how to make the wings. We're going to take a ball of clay here, and I'll show you the shape that we want. This here is the shape of the wing that we want right here. So we're going to make this shape right here. And then we're going to proceed to make lines in it also. I'm going to take this ball of clay and just kind of squeeze it with my fingers like that. See, I'm kind of flattening it out. And we're going to make that shape. Just kind of squeeze and pull, just like that. See, I'm kind of pulling that along and making that basic shape of the wing. It's just like this. And see that shape? That's the shape that you basically want. We're going to proceed to make the other one the same way. I'm going to take this ball of clay here, pick it up, and we're going to flatten that out like we did the other one. So you just kind of take and squeeze that in your fingers, just like that. Flatten it out nicely. And we're going to make that shape of the wing. Just kind of, so I'm kind of working that like that, see, flattening it out nicely. But then you kind of use your fingers to kind of make that shape like that, go around like that. And what I'd like to do now is compare it to the other one. I want to make sure they're roughly the same size. So what you can do, see how I kind of put these up together? I want to see that they're roughly the same size. Well, the next step in the process is we'll proceed to see if this is good for the bird. I'm going to take this and put that right here. See how I kind of push that up against the bird? You just kind of squeeze the wing into the bird like that. See, I'm just kind of pushing it in. See that? And that's what it will kind of look like from the side. And then the top. And we'll proceed to put the other wing on. So what I'm going to do is look to make sure it's roughly in the same spot. And then I'm going to place it on the bird, just like that. See, I'm kind of squeezing that in like that. Push that up against the bird. And then you take your finger, see how we're kind of taking the lower part and pushing it like that. And just kind of work it a little bit. Just like that. So that's what the bird will look like up to this point. I'll show you from the top and that side. The next step that we want to take is we want to make the lines in the wings. I'll get the bird here, and this is probably the better one of the two to show this effect. See how I made, you don't go down the entire wing, but just make those lines coming back like this, just like we did for the tail. And we'll do that on the other side. See how I made those nice lines? We'll proceed to do that. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take the bird and I'm going to make those lines. So I'll probably go to about this point here and then kind of pull it down like this. And then you kind of just pull that down like that. Just like that. And then we'll just want to, then we'll go like that. And then we'll proceed to do that on the other side. So what we can do is I'm going to take this and just pull that along like that. Go partway up the wing. Going to do that. See how we just pull it ever so slightly. You know, you might have to practice with it to get them equal distance apart. If they're not exactly equal distance apart, that's all right. But it creates a very nice effect. And we've made those lines. The next step in the process is we want to make the beak or the mouth on the bird, which is this piece right here. We want to make that orange. I painted the beak orange, and this is the basic shape that you want. See how it comes down? It's got a nice little point to it down here. We'll proceed to make that. I'll show you how to do that. We'll take this piece of clay, and what I'm going to do is kind of work at my fingers like this, and I'm trying to kind of work it into that point. This here is going to be the beak right here. So I'm taking that, squeezing that between my fingers, and I'll show you. See, you want to take that, see it kind of squeezing it to that point, And then what you do is kind of squeeze it this way also. So you kind of work it so we're going to make it into that beak-like shape. So see, I'm kind of making that point. It's almost there. See the shape? So I'll just proceed to work on that a little more. Just like that. So this is what it will look like from the top. This is what it will look like from the side. This is what it will look like from the bottom. So we're going to proceed to put that on the bird now. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick our bird up, and we're going to place the beak in the front right here. Just like that. So what you can do is take your fingers, just kind of work it in like this, all the way around. Just work the beak into the head of the bird. And then you got to go underneath. If you want, you can use your toothpick to do this also. And I'll show you how to do that. Just kind of work that like that. And you can take your toothpick and just kind of work that clay in like that. You're going to go underneath like that. Go all the way around. And I just want to make sure that I have it securely fastened. I don't want it to fall off the bird. So, see how we did that? Very simple. Now we'll proceed to make the eyes. And I will show you, we will take the toothpick and I'll go in approximately here. And you kind of take and twist that around a little bit, just like that. See that? And then we'll proceed to do that to the other side. What you want to probably do is look and see where you made the eye there, kind of follow around like this, and I'm going to look to make sure it's roughly in the same location. And I'm going to put that in like that, and then work it like that, and I'll just double check, make sure they're approximately in the right location. And then the next step in the process, I do want to finish the mouth. So what I'm going to do is take the toothpick, and I'm going to take and go from the lower beak here, like this, and just kind of run it along under like that. And I'll do the same on the other side. We'll run the toothpick like this on the lower, and we'll create a line. And I'll try to, hopefully you can see that with the detail. See how we made that line? You can just see how it runs right along the mouth. And that's how you make the bird. I'm going to show you how to paint this now. We're going to use acrylic paints, which can be bought in any art store. And we will be using several colors tonight. The colors I would like to use are, there's black, orange, green for the base, and then I want to use like a tan color, such as this, for the body of the bird. We'll push these aside, and I'll show you the types of brushes that we want to use tonight. For the eyes, we'll probably take a smaller brush such as this for the eyes. See, it's got a smaller head. I want to use this to do the eyes. For the beak on the bird, well, I think we'll use this one right here, this blue one. It's nice and small. The brush is a little wider. And then for the body, we'll use this one right here, and I can also use this for the base. So we'll proceed to paint the base first. I'm going to take the green, and we will proceed to do the base. Take this, and what you want to do is just go back and forth, just like this, on the base. And you're going to do that all the way around. Just like that. And we'll do the same here. Just like that. See how we're just going all the way around. Go back and forth with the brush. Just like that. And I won't paint the entire base, but I just wanted to kind of show you what you need to do, and I'll show you what the painted version will look like. But we'll proceed to do some other things on the bird now. We're going to proceed to do the beak, which is orange. We'll open the orange paint. And show you how to take the orange. Now we're going to paint the beak. Right here. Back and forth, back and forth. Just like that. We'll do that all the way around. We'll do the other side. See that? Just kind of back and forth. And don't worry if you get a little on the body of the bird. You can always touch that up afterward. The next thing we'll proceed to do is I want to do the eyes. So I'm going to take this and put this in here. And we'll get the other brush here, and we'll get the black. But before I do that, I just want to kind of move some of my paints aside. That way they don't get in the way. Pick up the orange. We'll put that aside. And then we'll do the black. I'm going to dip this in. And what we're going to do is just see this eye here? We're going to take and poke the black into that hole. Just kind of rotate it a little bit. See that? And we'll proceed to do that to the other side. I'm going to take and put that into the eye. Rotate it a little bit. Just like that. See how it has a really nice effect? We'll proceed to paint the body now. I'm going to get the brush that we use for both the body and the base. I got my paper towels here. We'll dry this off. I'll proceed to do the body. So what we want to do is I would probably do the underside of the bird first. Right here. So we're going to go back and forth, just like that. To paint the tail. Back and forth. See that? You want to go back and forth, back and forth. And we're going to proceed to paint the entire bird in that manner. When you do the wing, see how we're doing the back and forth motion? Just keep going back and forth, back and forth. Just like this. And then you want to do the back, the very back of the bird. Back and forth, just like that. We'll paint and you want to paint the entire bird that color. Now when you get around the eyes here, just kind of dab it a little bit. I want to pick that back, get a better grip. Just kind of go around it. You know, try not to get it into the eye, but just, you can always touch it up afterward. And see, just back and forth, you know, and it's kind of, if you want, you can get another brush that's a little smaller, and that will help enable you to do a better job around the eye. I will show you what the finished bird will look like, and that's right here. And see how we painted the nice green base all the way around? Just like that. We painted the nice beak. Then the eye black. I'll just kind of rotate them so you can see both sides. And then you can see how we painted the body the nice tan color. So we paint it underneath, and then you paint all around. And that's the bird. And I do hope you enjoyed the show tonight, Creations in Clay, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks again. Hi kids, how would you like to win some professional modeling clay like the one that I use in the show? Please send pictures of your creations in clay and we will enter them into a drawing. You can send by mail or email, and I can't wait to see what you've been up to.